So today we're going to get started on the crossmember, running an S13 steering rack in this one. Not like Wisefab, but similar I guess. Wisefab usually runs the rack in the center of the crossmember there, and then the tie rods come out pretty much here underneath the lower control arm to the knuckle and stuff like that. Since I'm going to be running Power Max bits and pieces, I decided to just notch it and move it forward as far as I could. Main reason for going for the S13 rack is because the 86s or FRSs, whatever you want to call it, usually run electric steering, and going with the engine swap and changing out all the harness and everything like that, I'm not going to be running any of that sort of stuff. So pretty much this was the easiest option I figured for me. So far I've pretty much made one mount here, just made a temporary bracket using a S13, the top little cap that holds the actual rack in place on S13 crossmember, and I flipped that, welded that down, and then made this little alley bracket for now, which is going to be temporary. That's just pretty much so I can shape it, so I know how to make one out of stronger. Well, I'm pretty happy with that, how that turned out. So that's my extra weld off there, and clean it up a bit, and then we'll get to cutting on the crossmember. So I've got my bracket done there now. So since I didn't have a second one, I made one obviously, grinded the weld down and stuff like that. That'll pretty much sit with that bush in there like that. It's not perfectly curved, but I think having the bush in there anyway is going to take a lot of that out anyway. It's more just to hold the rack in there to the cross member so it doesn't fall off or anything stupid like that. So this is pretty much the only way I could do it, because I didn't have another one of those brackets. For some reason I had 3 of the opposite brackets to this one, which made no fucking sense to me at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull the rack off this one, and then I'm going to trim all this down here, all the excess on that angle iron, everything with the wire wheel and whatnot and stuff like that, and then I'll probably get a lick of paint on it once I know that everything's in the right spot. So now you can actually see how I've done this dodginess. I've just welded pretty much around behind there and all that to there, and this extra bracket at the back here. So pretty much it's just literally just the S13 crossmember cap welded on. So what I'm going to do now is, because I put this angle iron in here, I'm going to trim off all this excess along the top and along the bottom there, because there's no need. I thought about leaving it for like just protection for the rack and shit like that, but I really don't think it's necessary at all. So I'm actually going to have to shorten this whole section down here, and then once we remove that, then hopefully by rights I should be able to put my other bracket in, weld it down to the crossmember, and completely bolt the rack in. I accidentally missed a whole bunch of cutting and shit like that because I forgot to hit record on the camera. I've made my little bracket now. This little guy should fit in there, and it's just literally just going to be a little bit of a support like this one here. No 5-star welds, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be strong enough to hold the bracket on there anyway. It's just a little bit of reinforcement, it's not even necessary. So they're bolted on again for now. I'm going to tack this on. That should really hold everything pretty straight. Finally got those mounts cut off, so that's looking a lot better now. Can't really be bothered grinding back all this scungy crap that was left on there from what my mate did when he welded those mounts on there, so I'm just going to leave them for now. This is more of a trial cross member. I got a second one, which is the one that's not hacked up, that's in the car right now. I'm just going to go over this with some wax and grease remover to get all the shit off, clean it up. Pretty happy with how it turned out in the end. Not really too many issues. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw the rack back in there, and we're going to make the other cap out of some shitty galvanized friggin' steel, just so we can mock it up, get it mounted up in the car, and then once we know everything seems to be perfectly right, and a little bit of flat bar and bend it, and that should make it a little bit stronger. So yeah, let's get this rack back in and then go from there. And that's really what you shouldn't do with the drill press. Got this all mounted up now. So with my temporary brackets and a whole bunch of stacked washers and crap, gonna have to shorten some of the bolts. As you can see, it's like bottoming out there and stuff like that. This side's alright. Another thing I have noticed too is I'm gonna have to notch this somewhere here, just for my lines and stuff that come out. Otherwise, pretty happy with how it turned out. It's all in there and mounted now. Really can't wait to get it into the car and just see exactly how well the steering sits. But otherwise, I've got to say, pretty stoked with how that's come out. So tomorrow we'll pull the engine out and we'll swap the cross members over and put the new one in there, and then hopefully it all fits up with this. That is what I'm hoping. It looks like it will probably be about perfect as how I've set it up, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle, but